Hello everyone, today I'm going to be going over how I animated the little intro animation, graphic design animation, whatever you want to call it, I have at the beginning of all my videos now. To start out with, I did do some thumbnailing and stuff, and I knew I wanted to include like a fun way to say it. I wanted to include my name and introduce you to what I was doing, but I knew I was going to be covering a lot of different things on my channel because I'm not a one-hit wonder by any means. I'm a jack of all trades. So I needed to make an animation, digital art, traditional art, and for some reason I did watercolor and markers instead of just traditional art. But so animation, digital art, leatherworking is the last one because that's a really strange one. I wanted to introduce myself every time, so I wanted to have my name up there, so I put Casey. And then I didn't really decide on a color palette by any means. I kind of just kept hitting colors until I got to something I liked. And so I did all of the drawings and artwork in Procreate on the iPad, and then I animated it in After Effects. I wanted to make each of the topics kind of look like the topic, even though I was doing it all digitally this time. So the leatherworking, I tried to give that like bevel feel with the leather color. Then digital art, it's like my iPad is what the point was. And then marker, it obviously looks like a marker. And the watercolor, I was trying to get that watercolor texture. And then animation, I did the classic like bouncing ball animation because everybody understands what that is. So I saved all of the layers separately and then imported them into After Effects. I didn't go in with a plan by any means. I was just kind of experimenting the whole time I did the bounce animation drawing. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just do the bounce animation for the whole sequence because it's like the classic animation thing, squash and stretch and then rebound and having weight and momentum to your items, not characters this time. So it was a lot of finagling in After Effects of getting the bounce to look correctly on the background piece. And then I decided to have each of the topics like slam in onto the background piece. The Casey's doing whatever today. And I didn't know how to make those come in correctly, so I thought like the classic like spinning was a fun thing to do. So that took a lot of figuring out how to place it correctly to be on the background every time. And then I made new compositions for each little topic, and I copied and pasted the keyframes from the original. The watercolor was the first one I did, but copied and pasted the keyframes from the original, so I didn't have to animate every single one. It was basically just a little bit of tweaking after I got it to work on the main one. A couple of them had to be resized a little bit, but for the most part it was just copy and pasting those keyframes and then making sure it was centered on the main. And then I just imported the next one and copied and paste, scaled, copied and paste. I usually always use the Easy Ease keyframe effect on all of my keyframes. To put simply, Easy Ease, it slows the object as it reaches the keyframe and then it'll speed it up as it leaves it. There's like an ease in, which will just ease it in, so slow it as it comes into, and ease out, which will speed it up as it goes away. And Easy Ease just applies that to both sides. It makes it look smoother and less choppy and electronic and digital. I guess when I say I apply it to everything, I mean more of like the position, the scale not so much because it normally doesn't affect it as much, but the position, it'll move the object in slowly and then out fast so it doesn't look like it hits something and then starts again. Pretty simple. Animation, the biggest part of animation is learning how to cheat it. The more ways you know how to cheat and do things, not the lazy way, but the most time productive way, the better. So if you copy and paste the keyframes of animation you've already done, because it's all going to be the same, do it. Then I thought about adding a little bit of slapping audio in just for fun, but I ultimately decided that I didn't like that after searching and trying a lot of audio out. So then I decided to add just a little bit of music on top, so I didn't have to add audio to that part at the beginning of every one of my video, even though there's audio there anyways. So I just went onto the free YouTube music, copyright, and slapped it on there. Had a little bit of fade out, and then replayed all of them and made sure they work. In this video, I did forget to do the leatherworking one, so I went back later and did the copy and paste keyframe thing.
Each of the different topics were on a different composition, and then you just drag the composition, whatever you named it, into the full composition. So I have comp 1 as my full composition. It'll pop up in the project section under like the things you have to put in the video, and then you just drag and drop those. I rendered each of them out in After Effects, and then I imported them into Adobe Media Encoder, which is a program that is used to just compress the audio and video files.
Here are the final animations, except for leatherworking, because I forgot to do that one. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more, and let me know if there's a part of this process you want me to go into more detail, make a whole tutorial video on it. Just let me know what you want to see.